יודע מילים, מהן נולדת תפילה. כל המילים עבדו בקולי, והיו כאילמות אפלה. אך עדיין רואות עיניי זוהר עיניו של ילד, ועוד רואות עיניי כוכב אין דומה לו בזוהר. ואימהות דאוגות פנים נוהגות אל האור ילדיהן הקטנים, מה יהיה עליהם, מה יהיה. אינני יודע מילים, מהן נולדת תפילה. שמעו שמחתן הנושמת כאביב שנדמה כי לא יחלוף עד עולם, כרוע הכרע לפני דמות אלוהים, אפי מעיניי נעלם. הנטרה לתמימים, הם אינם יודעים מדוע ברק פוגע בעץ הנושא את פריו לתומו. על נטרה לתמימים, הם אינם יודעים מדוע אדם מחלל את צלמו. אינני יודע מילים, מהן נולדת תפילה. על נטרה לתמימים, הם אינם יודעים מדוע ברק פוגע בעץ הנושא את פריו לתומו. אינני יודע מילים, מהן נולדת תפילה.
שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to our Zoom Siyyum for Wednesday evening. Cantor Paul Bush here along with Rabbi Jonathan Kupitz. And I have a sense we have a slightly smaller crowd joining us this evening. Any particular reason for that, Rabbi?
Yes, because our adults are at the other class. A lot of our adults for meeting the conflict and among with the conflict. That's tonight, not 2 days ago, but you know. Let's start with the song, Cantor Paul.
Well, you heard a little bit of it, at least the melody I'm going to use, as we were listening to our friends at Beit Tefillah Yisraeli in Tel Aviv, who use this melody often in their services. At least they used to. I think they still do. Usha, 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 Hine mato, Umanayim, Shevet achim, Gam yachad, Hine mato, Umanayim, Shevet achim, Gam yachad. Oh, how good, how beautiful it is for all of us to be together as one. Oh, how good, how beautiful it is for all of us to be together as one. Oh, Shah, 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 oh, Shah.
Yes, Osha, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome to Adele and Janet and Marla and anybody else who's with us on Facebook Live. Welcome. It's good to have you with us. And let's take a moment and say hello, and then I'll share. Go ahead, Aurora. That's a lot of purple.
You want to show them any of the other ones you made?
Oh, I did make this one.
Is that a leaf? There's a leaf in there.
Wow.
Oh, and can't forget this one, my suck.
What is this one?
Suck.
Shark? Turkey?
Suck. The suck is supposed to go like this.
It's a turkey?
Suck. Bok, suck. Bok, suck.
Turkeys go gobble gobble.
Gobble, suck. Gobble, suck.
You want to say hi?
Yeah. Hi, Ronan. Good to see you. Yeah. All right. Becca, do you have things you want to tell us?
Go ahead.
For dinner, I ate eggy waffle and French fries.
Was it good?
Yes.
Yes. All
Something
right.
you want to tell them anything else?
And in October on Halloween, I never did anything with our pumpkin.
Oh, so it's just still sitting as a regular whole pumpkin?
We got a pumpkin and we never did anything with it. It's just sitting.
Yeah, never got carved, huh? Yeah. All right. Just it becomes a fall pumpkin.
Yeah.
Just becomes a fall pumpkin. Good to
Hi,
see you guys.
everybody.
Hi, Yvonne. Good to see you. All right. I'm going to share a story. Bird of paradise. You have never seen a bird like this in all your life. Have you ever seen an eagle spread its wings across the sky? This magnificent bird had a greater wingspan. Have you ever seen the brilliant colors of a peacock? This glorious creature displayed more colors with more vivid intensity than the peacock. Have you ever seen a rooster strut his stuff in front of his clucking admirers? This regal bird made the wind stop and take notice when it paraded by. One fine day, this bird of paradise swooped in upon the town of Meshuggah. It was as if the sun had been eclipsed, for darkness suddenly blanketed the face of the earth at midday. So expansive was the breadth of the bird's wings that the sun was completely hidden. You can bet the Meshuggites stopped what they were doing to turn their attention to the sky. Awestruck, they marveled at the great bird as it circled the town once, then again, then again. The Meshuggites stood absolutely still and simply followed the bird with their eyes. Mendel the Meshuggite watched, as did his wife, Miriam the Meshuggite, as did their son and daughter, Moshe and Mindel the Meshuggites. The head of all the Meshuggites swiveled round and round on their necks like Dreidalach. Finally, the bird came to rest on the very top of the very tallest tree in Meshuggah. It was an old tree with huge branches, but even the powerful, thick branches bent under the weight of the great bird. All the Meshuggites hurried over to the tree. There was Mendel and Menachem and Miriam and Malka and Model and Mordechai and Mina and Model and Mir and Meshulam and Melech and Manny. Did you ever see a bird like that? Asked Manny to anyone and to no one at the same time. I'd have soup for a year, mumbled Mina. The town that had a bird like that would be famous, said Model. Model, you're right, cried Mendel. When I travel to Warsaw or Minsk or Pinsk and tell the people I'm Mendel of Meshuggah, they look at me and say, Mendel of what? No one has ever heard of our town. No one ever comes to visit. Mina, anyone but your friends here in Meshuggah come to your stall in the market to buy your square eggs? Mina shook her head. And you, Manny, when was the last time you had a visitor in your roofless inn? Where else? Can you find an inn which lets you sleep under the stars, even in winter? Replied Manny. All those other fancy schmancy places give you 4 walls, a bed, a fireplace, and a ceiling. Who wants that? If a person wanted that, wouldn't they just stay at home? All the Meshuggites nodded in approval of Manny's logic. When they want a vacation, they don't leave town. They go to Manny's roofless inn. Soon everyone began to realize that business would pick up and Meshuggah would become famous if only they could capture this incredible bird. Mendel had an idea. They would make a human ladder and get the bird down from the tree. So he lined everyone up in size order. The smallest would go on the bottom, and the tallest of the tall would go on the top. That way, Mordechai, the tallest man in Meshuggah, would be at the top of the human ladder so that he could reach the bird. After all, what good would it do if the smallest Meshuggite was on the top? How could tiny Moshe reach the bird when Mordechai was a full 10 hands taller? So little Moshe leaned against the tree on the very bottom. Then Mindel came and stood upon his shoulders. Then Malka climbed on, followed by Miriam and Madel and Minna. And down came the human ladder. Moshe simply collapsed under the weight of all the others. Obviously, Mendel was not so smart. Manny had another idea. Since Moshe could not hold the others, why not place a large trunk on the bottom? Let the others climb on top of it. So the Meshuggites placed a large black trunk on the bottom of the human ladder. This time the Meshuggites made it to Model before the ladder collapsed. Obviously, Mindel was too weak. She would have to be replaced. Out came another trunk. And so it went one by one. Each Meshuggite was replaced by a trunk until the pile of trunks had risen almost high enough to reach the bird. All that remained now was for Mordechai to climb the pile of trunks, reach the bird, and capture it for the Meshuggites. He started his ascent. One by one, he climbed up those trunks. Higher and higher he went. Within moments, he would reach the bird. At the bottom of this pile was Meir's trunk. It bore all the weight of all the other trunks, plus the weight of Mordechai, who stood up way at the top. As Mordechai strained to reach closer to the bird, the lid of Meir's trunk began to break. This was Meir's one and only trunk. It was the centerpiece of his home.
He became more and more upset at the sight of its impending ruin until finally he ran to the pile and snatched his trunk out from all the others. "I do not care about your bird or your plan. You're not going to ruin my trunk," he cried. And with that, all the trunks came tumbling down, one after the other, and Mordecai too. Never was such a loud crash heard in Meshuggah. It surely must have been thunderous, for its force knocked the great bird from its perch, causing it to fly away to find a safer and much more quiet place to take a breather. The great bird was not seen again ever in Meshuggah or in any of the other neighboring towns. To this day, Meshuggah remains unknown, and the Meshuggites unknown as well. Erev Tov. We're going to move into our Siyum, our Shema and Hashkivenu prayers.
I thought they called them Michiganders. Is that not Meshugites?
Yeah, those. Oh, yes, the Meshuganders. Yes.
Mishuganders.
Meshuganders.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom. V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha.
Just a few announcements. Friday night we have our 6:30 regular family Shabbat service, and then at 7:30 we have our Shabbat service with our Shabbat scholar, Jack Pitney, who will give us an analysis of the election. Saturday night we will have our Havdalah, and next week on Wednesday, Cantor, correct me if I'm wrong, but we will not have Zoom Siyyum next Wednesday, correct?
I think that's the best decision, yes.
Next Wednesday, we will not have Zoom Siyyum because we have an Interfaith Thanksgiving service at 7 o'clock. we won't have. So we'll remind people again on Monday when we have some of the rest of our regular crowd returned, but just so that people don't show up. But you're all welcome at 7 o'clock to join us for our Claremont Interfaith Council Thanksgiving service on the night before Thanksgiving on that Wednesday.
Erev Thanksgiving,
evening.
it's also known as.
Yeah. So that would be great. And keep watch. We have a number of things coming up for Hanukkah, and there's classes and all sorts of good stuff going on. Any other announcements you have, Cantor Paul?
Not that I can think of, only that I do plan to be on Tuesday for our little preschool Shabbat.
Singing.
And those who like preschool singing. We're going to start looking at Hanukkah songs because, believe it or not, Hanukkah is coming up fast. Woo woo! All the kids say.
Great. All right. Well, let's end with a song.
Oh, say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Yalelelelele. Oh, say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Everybody now. Yalalelelele, 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 yalalelelele. Oh, say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen.
Erev Tov, everyone. Great to see you.
Lehitrot, everybody.
See you for Shabbat. Bye.